Hi, Peter Charles here of Hooked for Life Fly Fishing, and today we're going to tie a kind of funky fly called the Ambrose Bucktail. It's a little weird, but you know, sometimes you can have a bit of fun with these flies, and I think it will actually catch fish. I don't have any doubt of its fish catching abilities, but it is kind of unusual in the way it's put together. So let's get started with the Ambrose Bucktail and have a look at the materials. Our hook is a mustad size 2 in 3 extra heavy, 7 extra long. We're using a Viva 6/0 in black for a thread. Our rib is uni mylar and it's the large size 10 version. Our body is yellow chenille. Our tail is red and white bucktail. Our throat is red and black saddle hackle. Bit of fluff. And the wing is white and brown bucktail. So let's get started. Now this tail doesn't use a lot of material. It's bucktail and it's red over white. It's not mixed. So I'm going to cut off just a little bit of white bucktail and I'm going to stack it. Okay, there's the white. Now for the red. Okay, there's the tail in position. Let's trim off this stuff. Now, if I wasn't tying a chenille body, I would wrap that all the way to the end of the hook. But being chenille, I can cover it up so it doesn't matter. Next, our rib. This is gold silver mylar, so we're tying in gold side up because we're going to be using the silver side. Just a couple of turns for that. And now for the chenille. Okay, when you have a big bump like this and you're tying chenille, put a tight wraps over the bump. Keep the tension on tight and then get out of the way there. And then when you come forward and get off the bump, back off the tension, and you want to crowd the turns to fluff it up. Now you can see it looks even. You can't see the bump at all. It's disappeared. It's just on how you manage the tension and how tightly you pack the chenille. Now we're going to leave some room for our throat and our wing. Try and get rid of most of that fluff, bind it down. Now for our rib. Now you can get different effects here. I've used a fairly broad rib. You can have a different looking effect by using a narrow rib. So you can make chenille more dominant or the rib more dominant. Your choice. This is just a style thing. I've gone for the big rib, but you could go for a skinny rib if you wanted to. Now you see our tail is shifted, so we'll just take a moment to shove it back. Okay, now when it comes to wings and throats, there's two ways to do it. You can tie on the throat first or the wing first. I'm going to do the wing first this time, and but you could easily just as well do the throat. This involves both white and brown, so what we want to do is keep the clumps a reasonable size. We don't want to get them too big, and just like the tail, we're going to stack it and bring the wing about the length of the tail. Bring your thread right to the back and do a pinch loop. A couple of wraps. Check to make sure we're square. And I'm going to show you a different way to handle your bucktail this time. I'm just going to wrap this down, get close to the eye, pull this up, keep your grip on it all, and whatever you do, don't trim your thread. There we go. Now you see I've left a nice little taper there. I'll bind that taper down. Bring your thread to the back. Now for the brown. And bring the brown the same length as the white. And put a couple of turns in there and check to make sure that you're even. And then start bringing your thread forward. Not as far as the white. Here's the trick. Come in here again with the scissors, making sure you don't cut your thread, and then wrap this down. Bring your thread to the back, turn it upside down. Now for the saddle hackle, we're going to do the red first, followed by the black. Now for the black. A little long, so I'll just pull that in down to the right length. There we go. Trim off the black. And a couple of soft wraps at the back, just to keep everything from flying apart. Now we whip finish. And lastly, some head cement. Okay, there's our Ambrose Bucktail. That's kind of a little bit funky looking fly with that yellow chenille body and the rib, but you know, I'm sure it'll catch fish. I mean, anything that combines some yellow and some red and some white seems to work. I mean, you think of some of the traditional patterns with yellow bodies where they've got a lot of red, the Parson's Glory, for example. I mean, those flies work well, so I don't see a reason why this one won't work as well. So give it a try, the Ambrose Bucktail. Cheers.